I hope part one of the second half of our 2023 housing market, Will the Market Crash, was helpful to you. Today, I'm going to talk to you about mortgage rates, and I'm not going to try to predict mortgage rates. Experts have been off on predictions really, nonstop for about the first year. But what I'm going to talk to you about is, yep, those are my babies. I don't know if you can see them, but they're over there and down here, and they want you guys to know that they're here. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is how mortgage rates are going to affect the market, why we think mortgage rates will go down. We're just not sure when, the impact on inflation. And, I am not an economist. I am not a lender. I just want to give you guys really good facts. I see all these headlines that very much distort where our market is and what's happening and reasoning behind that. So this is why I'm doing this very, very long market update for you. And if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma and our surrounding suburbs, then tap that little bell notification and subscribe. That way you can be the first to know what's going on in our local Tulsa area real estate market. I'm Sabrina Shaw. I'm a local real estate agent here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and my team and I get calls every single day from people just like you who need help buying or selling their home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And let me tell you, we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days, 90 days, 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or jump on a Zoom call, and we would love to help you make that seamless move to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, so again, we are not trying to predict mortgage rates here. Really, we have said, we expect them to go down. The feds are doing everything they can to really cut inflation and slow the economy down, slow things down. And so it looks like rates are still going to rise. But again, I'm not trying to predict that. What I'm showing you here today is the effect that mortgage rates have on our housing market. So if we look right here, just what I said, Mark Fleming, the chief economist, don't try to predict the mortgage rates. Will invariably be wrong. So very good, especially right now. This is the impact of mortgage rates showing sales and price. Okay, so this is interesting because you would think that when mortgage rates go up, that home prices would decrease. But when we look at this historically, they don't, they increase. So October 1993, interest rates increased in 14 months 2.38%. Home prices increased by 3%. You can see this one in 1998, interest rates went up by almost 2%. Home prices increased by 13%. Now, if you look, now the housing market's down, home sales are down because again, you are messing with affordability. So you're pricing, buyers out of the market. But we can see that just because mortgage rates increase, that prices don't decrease, okay? From a historical perspective, we see that home sales do, and that's what we've seen right now. Now, let's look at the impact of mortgage rates on showings. So this black line is where, our mortgage rates are. And so we definitely saw in August, September, October, November, when mortgage rates were going up, showings were going down. This is your number of showings according to showing time. So the number of showings on houses. So we did see a significant decrease in showings with the increase in mortgage rates. Now that was the first time that we were seeing that increase, but then there's also, seasonality. So if I was looking at this through, a regular month to month in a normal market, we would still see a decrease right here. People, and we saw a pullback. I'll show you more of that in a second, but we got back to the rates are where they're at and showings increased again, back to more of their normal levels. Now here is the impact that was on showings. What I just showed you was how mortgage rates go with showings. This is how it goes with pending closed sales. So the higher the interest rate, we saw it again slowing in pending sales, and we have seen a decrease in pending sales. We've seen a decrease in home sales. But again, that aligns with the market too. So we're definitely seeing that. It's also seasonal. Did mortgage rates impact home prices? Okay, now this is a national look. I'm taking this from a national level. And what I was saying the whole time is when we were getting the predictions of up to 20% decrease in home prices, what I was telling you based on the experts that I follow and the information I read and, the statistics and the graphs that I look at, saying, okay, we're either going to see slight appreciation, slight depreciation, or a flat appreciation, just, not moving forward or backwards. So this is what happened. And so we did see a slight depreciation here. Now, if you look, we had significant, this is month over month, and we've had significant appreciation. We've had that for several years. It's not normal appreciation. So not only was this following, kind of seasonality, but it was also adjusting. And so when you look at this is, we didn't even make it to 1%. Okay. So yes, during that time and during the interest rates, things, people were like paused. We saw slight depreciation, but nothing, with all the appreciation that we've had, nothing to support the headlines of the market, that we were going to depreciate drastically, that the market was going to crash. This is quarter over quarter price changes. Q1 was 4.72 appreciation. Again, this is not Tulsa data, this is nationwide, and an average. Q2, 5.48. Q3, half a percentage point. Q4, 1.25% percentage rate. Okay, slight depreciation. Then back in 2023, Q1, 1.3%, 1.9%. So we made up for that depreciation. So now back to, just the boots on the ground and the fundamentals of why the Fed can't slow housing down enough, and that is the impact of mortgage rates on new listing inventory. And I love this graph right here because you can see economists who are not real estate experts, they're economists looking at graphs, and you can see why they were thinking that we were going to have like this tsunami of inventory hit the market. So this is going back to 2017. So we have 2017, 2018, 2019. Okay, those are all normal markets. Okay, we were in normal markets pre-pandemic. Okay, this is 2022, when the interest rates started to rise. This is what we see. So seasonally, look at these normal markets. Like you see January, February, March, it's increasing. You top out in May, okay, and then you start declining. Okay, that is a normal market. You see it for 3 years. That's what happens. Well, what happened in 2022 is we were going with seasonality, interest rates were changing, and then instead of following the curve down, because we're still lower inventory, this is new monthly listings, we're still lower, but instead of it going lower, it was increasing. So based on that increase from May to June, you had economists, you had experts looking at this and saying, oh, we're going to see this trend to where we have all these houses on the market. Okay, that was, why we were seeing some of those headlines. Well, look what actually happened. Okay, new listings dropped dramatically. So it didn't follow what they were projecting. They ended up going down and following girls. Baby, why are you barking? Oh goodness, we're gonna have to pause. Okay, so it dropped dramatically and even more dramatic, than the normal market years. Okay, so look at this record low inventory. So new listings, just dropping dramatically. And, and that was 2022. These are normal markets. So here we are in 2023 following the same, seasonally adjusted new listings being brought to market. But look how low we are. So we are down 28%, almost 29% year over year. Okay, so our inventory is just affecting that supply and demand and holding up those home prices. We're going to talk about that more. I talked to you about that a little bit in part 1 of the market update, but just to, I'm going to show you further, dive down deeper. So look at this, 70.7% of mortgage rates are less than 4%. Do you know the affordability there? Also meaning if they were less than 4%, they bought. Buyers have also had the gift of the appreciation that we've had over the years as well. So look at this, 26% of people have below a 3%. 44.7% of people have between a 3 and 4%. 20.3% of people have between 4 and 5. 5 to 6%, 5.3. And then we've got less than 6%. 5.3% between 5 to 6%. People with a greater than 6% loan, we have 3.7%. So why am I telling you that? Again, this is just a different graph showing things in a different way and making you think about it like, okay, if you have below a 3%, you're not selling. I mean, you basically have free money, unless it is just some kind of life change or, which happens, something where you need to sell for your family, you're probably holding on to that. 3 to 4%, you're probably not selling either. Okay, when we get to the 4 to the 5%, that's still a good rate. We would love to see it back in the 4 to 5s. That would really help our affordability. And so you're going to think pretty hard if you decide to sell. If you have between a 5 to 6%, you're probably, if you need to sell, you're probably going to sell. And if you have, a 6%, yes, like the interest rate isn't going to stop you. And this is, the probability of you selling based on, oh, I just want to, or, oh, I was thinking about selling. So why are mortgage rates impacting potential sellers? Well, 76% of buyers who would need to sell their home to buy say that they're reluctant to in today's market because of their current interest rate. And, that makes a lot of sense, because if you got in those low rates, you have some great affordability right now that honestly will probably never get back again. Okay, look at this. You have 1 in 4 homeowners that are considering selling within the next 3 years. Okay, so 2021 came, we had like 14%. It was getting higher, 19%, then 16%. So as you can see, it goes up and down and up and down. Well, now we get to Q4 2022 is down to 15%. Then Q1 2023 up to 19. Now Q2 2023, we're up to 23%. So 1 in 4 homeowners know that they want to make that move. They're waiting on the interest rates. And so when that happens, what is that going to do to the market? I have a listing right now that I'm running an ad on, and I have several people that said they're waiting for interest rates to go down. And I completely understand that. And I'll talk about this more in either part 3 or part 4. I'm not sure. Think about how many people that are waiting to make this move are going to come out when those interest rates get to about 5%, between 5 and 6%. We're still low in supply. And yes, that will help our supply. But then you've got all those buyers that were waiting. And again, the reason that housing has been able to support and stay with prices is the supply and demand issue, because we have been underbuilding for a very long time. And to be able to catch that up is going to just take a long time to do. Baby, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, girls. Come here. Come here. Can we stop whining? Yeah. Can we stop whining? I'm trying to record. Can we stop whining, girls? Just sit there. Okay, so the top 2 reasons to sell, you have 66% that wanted an upgrade in their home. I mean, yes, as we buy our first house, as we get in our career fields, as we make more money, like we want nicer things, normal reason. And then 45% said, a growing family is influencing their decision to buy and sell. Again, you have, the millennial and Gen Zers, who are having kids, who are growing their families. And so that makes sense. Baby, what is the matter? Nia, stop. Or Winner, stop. Or who is that? They're playing, I think. Okay. Okay, where are mortgage rates headed and how quickly will they get there? And again, we're not going to forecast rates, but let's look at projections. Okay, so you have Fannie Mae, MBA, and NAR that are predicting basically a high of 6.6, a low of 5.9, an average of 6.27 in Q4, 2023 Q4. Girls. Q1 of 2024, a low of 5.7, a high of 6.4, an average of 6.07. Q2 2024, a low of 5.5, a high of 6.2, an average of 5.9. And Q3 2024, a low of 5.2, a high of 6, an average of 5.73. So we're looking at rates, in the 6s to upper 5s. Okay. Now, this is why people are saying that mortgages are going to go down. Because if you look at this is going over 50 years. So for almost 50 years, the 30-year mortgage has moved in unison with the 10-year treasury. Okay, that average spread is 1.72 right here. Okay, this is the 30-year fixed in pink. And then we've got the 10-year treasury in gray. Okay, so you can see that average, has just stayed about 1.72. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Well, what's happening right now and why are mortgage rates so high? And this is kind of like people were following that, the experts were following that 10-year treasury yield and thinking, okay, well, the 10-year treasury was at 4.2. So if you follow that 1.72, you need interest rates at 5, they would be 5.84%. So if they were following the normal cycle, what they've done for a 50-year average, then this is where we would be. They're not doing that. They're higher. They're at a little above a 3% average. So that's making our rates a 7.2. Okay, so that's a vast difference. And this is just showing you, again, that spread between, the 10-year treasury and the, that 30-year mortgage rate. Okay, you can see, these times that they definitely went above that 1.72. Okay, but they go back down. So they're up and they go back down, and they're up and they go back down. So they're up right now. And so realistically, they should go back down. And we'll talk about that more too. Our job market is tight. And you have the lenders, that would normally maybe do layoffs, but they know based on the projections of, the supply of inventory, how many people want to buy. They're probably thinking if they lay somebody off, when the housing market, when interest rates get back to normal levels, then they're going to need those workers and they're not going to be able to get those employees. In 2021, this was a mortgage bank's profit, basically, after paying everything. Now in 2022, it's negative 301. So they're losing money. Inflation has messed with everybody, so it's costing them more. So the lenders, the people that are putting in the money, they're doing that bigger spread because they've got to keep things running. Okay, so now, let's talk about inflation. And so why those rates are so high is because the Feds keep signaling that they're not stopping. They are trying their best to slow the economy with the mortgage rates, and it's just not working like they thought. But if you look, like in July of 2022, the consumer price index was at 8.9, and then the PCE was at 7%. Okay, so we have brought it down to 3.1% and 3% collectively. Now Powell wants to see them at 2%. Like, he does not want to stop until it's 2%. That's what they keep signaling. If you look at inflation from a historic perspective, this is why. Okay, because here you have inflation at 12.2%, and they got it to where it was going down. They let their foot off the gas on everything. Then look what happened. It shot right back higher to 14.6. Okay, so eventually it went down and it stayed down, but look at how many years that took. Okay, so they don't want to make that mistake again. We did learn from the forbearance program and the moratoriums, like that helped us not have a crash. Politicians learned from their mistakes. They learned from history. So they are not wanting to repeat history. They don't want to take their foot off the gas until they get to that 2%. And then this is our Fed's funds rate, that mortgage with inflation. And you can see, so inflation is in the pink and the rate is in the gray. And you can see as inflation goes up, so does the rate. When inflation goes down, the rate goes down. So where we're at now is inflation is up and it's going down. And so we expect to see that coming down, soon once they hit that 2%. Will it ever be where we're in the below the 3% and even the 3s? I seriously doubt it. I think we'll be lucky to get to the 4s, but I'm not, that is not my field of expertise. So I want to end with that. And just because following history, following the inflation, following the rate, it makes sense that it will go back down. Once they get inflation under control, then it makes sense that the rate will go back down. So that is that's how and why mortgage rates are impacting our housing economy. Bless you. Oh, was that a cough? Are you okay? So I hope that was helpful. Stay for part 3. I'm going to talk a little bit more. Again, my goal is to give you the big picture on what is happening in the housing market in 2023. These headlines are crazy. They can make things look wonky. You have so many people predicting like this dire failure, and that's because fear sells. They were predicting that in 2020. I don't know if you've watched any of my videos, but I always say I feel so bad for my buyers that sat it out after 2020, even 2021, saying, nope, the market's going to crash. We're going to get we're going to get a wave of foreclosures. We're going to buy a house cheap. We're not paying this much. They missed out on affordability of a lifetime. I say make the best decision for your family, what works for you, but don't make it out of fear. Like, be educated. And if this video is helpful, please give it a like and comment. If there's anything that you want me to cover, I would be glad to. I've got several videos in the queue. Again, I'm either going to do a part 3 and part 4. I'm not sure if I'm going to combine part 3 and part 4 together in our mid-year market update for 2023. And again, if you are thinking about making that move to Tulsa, Oklahoma, or one of our surrounding suburbs, reach out to me, or someone on my team would love to talk to you and show you around town.